Welcome, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the BMW Atlantic City Studios here in Manny from New Jersey. I am Matt Sasuti. This is Mikey, the Penguin sleeping and loving with Klankoff. And over
That's never happened, by the way. Oh, okay, only once.
That's why you weren't here that 1 week. We all know what was going on in LBI. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Wait,
we
there's
understand.
penguins there?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And Mikey found them. He found them all right there at his bedside. But anyway, meanwhile, right on over here is Brian the Darkwing Daily.
Thank God I'm not a duck lover.
Night's young yet. And right on over there behind the board is Ryan Brodo.
Hello.
I got nothing for you.
Oh, yes,
You're-
thank
you're
God.
You're all right.
Right. I was afraid. Be happy.
All right, so with that being said, this is the Hockey Happy Hour brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center located at 5 Carnegie Plaza here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. I mean, I said it a few weeks ago that Penguin Loving would return to the show, and by God, it
In the
did.
morning just doesn't really mix.
Well, I mean,
So.
that's what happens. That's what
It's a
happens,
shame.
man.
I wanted to be here with him, but, you know, had to take care of some other things.
Yeah, we know you did. We know you did.
I don't know if I can work under these circumstances
Excuse
anymore.
my fantasies, okay?
Wow.
Hey, man, you made a penguin believe it could fly. All right, so
Wow.
The things that go on in Maddie's head.
Seriously. Scary place out
It
there.
is a
the scary
place.
part of that is that just came right off the top, too. I didn't even
Whoa.
give that any thought.
That wasn't even deep.
Yeah, that was
off
not
the
even
top.
deep thinking right there. All right, so with that being said, my mental psychosis aside, it is time for the NHL free agency. And as we have alluded to, the draft was a very interesting one for the Philadelphia Flyers in particular. It was, how was it for the Ducks? Kind of there.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
I liked it for the most part. There's a couple good picks. Maybe been able to get a couple steals in there. We'll
All
see.
right.
We'll find out in a year or two.
And did the Penguins pick anybody at all this
Yeah,
year's
they
draft?
had 4 whole picks this year. 4 whole picks.
All right, then.
You know, hockey is just one of those where it's like you hear a kid that he's 16, 17, you're like, okay, we'll see you in a couple of years.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Hey,
pretty
welcome to
much
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No, get out of here. We'll
All
see
right,
you in 3 years.
We'll develop you, you know, get in camp.
Or
see
maybe
what
we'll
you're made
just
of.
trade you. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have a first-round pick this year. Obviously, that went to Ottawa in the Derek Brassard trade, so
Yeah,
I
think
didn't even really bother watching, to be honest. Watched the first pick, knew it was going to be Dahlin, and fucking went to bed.
Well, to be honest with you, though, it did go to a good cause, though. It went to
Yeah.
Ottawa. Can't imagine that not going to waste at all.
Mm.
Look at Ottawa's track record, though. Plenty of good things.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that being
That's for
said,
All right.
the free agency. Let's dive into who is available and who has a chance to possibly get picked here or there, who has a chance to be plucked from free agency.
A couple ideas for the Flyers.
And yes, could the Flyers make some signs here or there to possibly get some veteran presence on the D? I hope so, because if that doesn't happen anytime soon, it's going to be a bit of a shit show like it was this past season. It had its moments of greatness, and it had its moments of absolute failure. That is something that needs to get corrected right here, right now. We already know who our goalie is going to be a few years down the line from now. We pretty much know who our captain's still going to be, and we know what direction the team wants to go. Can we at least get our team to fill in the gaps in between them? That's the main focus.
Oh, Greg, you stole my thunder.
Oh, boy.
So I had a little bit of news.
What did
They-
Oklahoma City do, huh? No. No, he's ever Paul George? No.
No, they were interviewing Carter Hart after development camp, and Carter was saying that he thinks he's going to make the roster out of camp.
If
He plans to.
Oh, if he makes the roster out of camp.
The one of 6
holy
goalies on the
shit.
team. I mean,
Just saying.
I'm laughing because it's true.
yeah. No,
Listen,
it's
it's a great problem to
It
have.
is a
though.
very good problem to have. It's just you're paying all these guys above him already, where he's getting what, like a $600,000 contract right now. So it's like you're gonna waste all that cap space to put a guy on the bench like that.
Here's the
it's
thing,
just-
though.
Yeah, but we were talking about this a little bit last week. You bring up Carter Hart right off the bat, you got to have him play.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not going to sit Elliott. Elliott's making what?
No, you're not.
2 something this year?
What's probably going to happen is that Elliott is probably going to finish out his contract with the Flyers. Depending upon wherever the fuck we wind up midway through the season, we may just say, you know what? This guy blows. He's never going to find his game again. We're going to get rid of him. Let's see if someone wants a backup, and we'll just toss him.
He'll be
to you.
Sergei Bobrovsky all over again.
Uh,
And then he'll
Good
go somewhere
memories.
else and he'll blow up. So, I think the best thing for Carter to do, believe it or not, is to not make the roster, play a year in the AHL, and
He needs to
come up
develop.
the year
Well,
after.
He
That's,
needs to
right.
develop.
That's my point.
What my
That's the
point is.
thing.
My point is that Carter, if he is possible of making the team out of camp, that's great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. But he's going to spend an entire season on the Phantoms.
He has to.
I know that is not what the fans want to hear. Carter, I'm pretty sure, does not want that to happen. But for him to be
Remember-
able to be ready for the NHL level, you want him to play every day. He is not going to play every day if he's in a Flyers jersey, and we still have Brian
Yeah.
Elliott under contract for one more year. I'm not saying that midway through the season that if, like I said, if Elliott is not panning out and this team is not where we need it to be and they are on the wrong direction of a wild card race, then I could then see a Carter Hart coming up and saying, you know what the fuck do we have to lose
This
here?
is my team.
Yeah, we might as
Yeah.
well send our backup down, put Elliott on the bench then because he's almost halfway through his damn contract with us as it is. Put Carter Hart in the starting position then, and then we'll see. Maybe we have to do the platoon game, but then we can figure out, okay, is Carter truly ready to be the starter for next season?
Yeah.
And then you go from there. As I look at it right now, he's going to be playing in the Phantoms. If he is capable of making this team out of camp, he will be the starting goalie of the
Yeah.
Lehigh Valley Phantoms.
It reminds me a lot, though, of the same thing that the Penguins were doing a couple years ago with Matt Murray. I mean, he was a young potential, obviously potential goaltender down in the AHL playing in Wilkes-Barre, and it's just like this kid was phenomenal down there, but they weren't bringing him up. It was almost like a Chris Bryant story in MLB. It's like, this kid is good. Why is
Yeah.
he not starting right away? It's because he needs to develop. The more time that he got in the NHL obviously proved himself as soon as he got up in the NHL for Murray anyway. It ends up taking over the team, wins a Stanley Cup. So it's like,
Real
and
quick.
that's
Yeah.
the same thing the Flyers need to do. Obviously, I don't want the Flyers to do good. But if they're smart, they got to let them
Thanks.
develop.
Really
Right.
appreciate that.
So-
nice. Really.
I know you would say the same thing back. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
that's true. I
saying it.
really
If-
do hope the Penguins.
saying
I wish
it
them,
for you.
I wish them all the greatest success
Yeah,
in the whole
exactly.
world.
We got
Hopefully
lots
Crosby breaks
of-
his
Yeah, we
ankle.
do got a lot of comments
Anyway.
coming in.
Lots of comments coming in. Chrome chiming in. Hockey free agency talk. Let's go. We're going to get to that.
Chrome.
Mike Parker, what's up, guys? As far as Philly goes, well, Philly sports go, the Flyers, I am the most out of the loop, but I'm sure Hextall is active in free agency. Rob Povia, yes, I smell JVR coming home. That just might be whatever you're burning in your house, Rob, because JVR's not coming back. Tom Smith, what's up, guys? Philly born and bred, now in Knoxville, Tennessee. You guys rock. Thanks, Tom. Ryan Moore, hey, fellas. And I hope Hextall grabs someone big in free agency.
See, here's
And the big guns are going to be gone, and we already know where one's going to be.
well, okay, we'll talk about him in a minute, but
Well, I was talking about John Carlson.
I was going to say
okay.
Jack Johnson.
never.
That's not a bad sign. That's a good depth
No,
move, to be
I'm
honest
taking
with
it.
you.
I'm actually very happy with that.
Absolutely.
Are we talking-
Hopefully it becomes
Oh,
official.
come on now. We
you know.
got to talk about Noah Hanifin. Oh, wait a minute. Fucking wait. He went to the Flames. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Jimmy DiSperito, what's going on, fellas? Is there any word on the Flyers looking to trade anyone or any free agents coming to Philly?
Well, the only person that's been recently rumored of possibly being traded would be Wayne Simmons. Currently, there hasn't been anything coming through the wire that someone's been intrigued with him right now.
Wayne Simmons. I thought you were going to go free agency.
Oh, no.
'Cause
Yeah,
I know
and that
of one.
wasn't- that
I know
was-
one player linked to the Flyers right now.
Yeah, but that's different. The free agency is a different story.
Yeah, that was one
Yeah.
thing that I was actually surprised about too. Just going back to the draft was the fact that there was really no trades at all.
There was one that I know of that was really significant.
What was
and
that?
then the other two were trading just
Was
draft
Just picks. Yeah.
Was that the Colorado one?
That was Colorado.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Colorado picking up Philip Grubauer and
and
Brooks Orpik.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
other than that, it was just like a very boring kind of draft. There was no movement, nothing really going on. It was just we're picking our guys and we're going home.
I think
Yeah.
the reason why is because the East right now, I think the teams with where they're at, they don't want to give up too much because especially teams like Philly, Jersey, a lot of these teams are on the way up, so they don't want to give up too much and hurt their chances of possibly competing next season.
Yeah.
Because there's still two teams, particular example on the bubble, they don't want to be on the outside looking in this following year because you still have a capable Florida Panthers team that could make something happen next year. Don't know if they will or not.
It came as close as 2 points. So
Yeah, pretty much. You're
Last
also
game
still
of the year.
you're still gonna have to contend with Columbus on top of that. You know, and basically anybody in the Metropolitan Division is going to be a pain in the
very
dick to deal
very
with
competitive
for
in
the rest
Metro
of the
this year.
goddamn foreseeable future.
And the Rangers 6 points out.
even though they didn't
Dismantle.
give a shit for that portion of the
It
season.
still bothers me.
You're just gonna bother you all fucking year.
Like-
You're just like, God damn it! Until
Like
next
if the
season
Penguins
starts.
were to notify us as a fan and be like, you know what, guys, we're 6 points out of the playoffs. I think it's time to rebuild. I'd be like, the fuck are you thinking? Like,
I'm going to
really?
request my trade right now.
Really? Oh my god!
I'd be
Yeah, it's
pissed
just-
too.
It's still like to me, it's just
I would be pissed too. I was like, "What the fuck? You're only 6 points
Wait,
out,
you
and
guys
you're gonna
are
fucking
6
rebuild?
points
What
out."
the fuck is this?"
and it's like okay.
That's like for Brodo. That's like if the Sixers made the playoffs this year and said, "You know what? We're gonna once again restart the process.
let's do the process. You know,
all
we're
over again.
we're just gonna give away Embiid for just one first round pick.
You mean what could be normal for the Sixers to
Yeah.
do now? Christ.
So to answer the second half of his question, the free agent that I've heard being linked to the Flyers right now, as of right now, Tyler Bozak.
Okay,
Tyler
yeah, it was a
Bozak.
name that we brought up 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Which would be a very good signing, a nice third line center for him and be deep there.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
exactly what I was
But he
gonna
can
bring
also
up.
be the second line center.
He
You
very
let
well
Nolan
could be.
Patrick play third.
Yeah.
But you can flip flop him. So I mean, it doesn't matter.
But
Either.
yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
good- it's a
either
good
way,
move.
it's a good problem to have. Again, it's just like I was gonna get into is that they need more of that depth scoring, and obviously Bozak
Yeah.
with his talents would benefit them a lot.
Yep.
I've nothing against that. I'm really looking to see though. Again, I've highlighted this before. I want to see a veteran on the defense that is not Andrew McDonald. I do not want him as the captain of this defense no more. He's
Well,
fucking trash.
Another possible free agent landing that would be possibly a good fit for you guys is a guy named Ian Cole.
Ian Cole isn't a bad option.
I loved when Ian Cole spent his 2 years with us, 3 years, whatever the hell it was. But he's just he's a shot blocking defenseman, which is just great. And he'll give you your points every once in a while. Obviously, he's there strictly for defense. He's not that offensive defenseman, but he's there strictly for defense, and he could give you those block shots. And that's what he's known for. He had like 80 of them in the playoffs alone. So it's just he's absolutely phenomenal, and he would be a good fit for you guys.
That's one of the guys I would like.
I'd like to bring him back, to be honest.
On top of that, too, there are other guys. I mean, I know Carolina is looking to trade off a lot of their pieces. A guy like Justin Falk wouldn't be a bad
Yeah, he would-
option for
yeah,
you to
but
bring into
you got to
defense.
look at his contract for that one.
Yeah, that's the issue is the
Yeah.
contract side of it. But overall, though, looking through a lot of the free agents that I'm seeing right now, defense-wise, there's several decent people to go after.
Mike Green.
Yeah, Mike Green, another guy.
He'd be an option for me. And you could probably get him relatively cheap. You can probably get him under $4.
True. You might be able to get another guy who used to be a Philadelphia Flyer and Dennis Seidenberg for cheap on top of that, who has plenty of experience under his belt. He's 36, but that's still not bad. Still somebody who's got a defensive presence and a defensive side of that coin.
Yeah, that's going against everything Hextall wants to do. That's the only problem with that move.
But it's only temporary. It's not permanent. It's more like someone who's just going to be there to teach the young guys, and then when the young guys are ready, you get rid of them, pretty much. Other guys that you got, if Boschman's a little too long
Calvin
in the
DeHaan could be a
tooth.
good option. He's still relatively young.
Yeah.
True. Calvin DeHaan, not a
Yeah,
bad
he's only
option off of the
27.
Islanders.
Yeah.
They could try and go get Lucas Spiza who was on the Golden Knights, and he was a former Flyers draft pick at one point.
And a former Duck for any of the Ducks fans that are out
That
there
is
listening.
true.
I know there's one.
They could go also with Dan
Two.
They could go with Dan Hamhuis as well.
Hmm.
Maybe possibility. It's not out of the realm of
I'm not saying it.
possibility.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying it as Dan Hamhuis isn't the defenseman that he once was. I think his career has started to go downhill as soon as he
Yeah.
hit
Yeah,
Vancouver.
you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And he's 35.
He's just a name
which is-
now. Yeah, he's just a name now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's several choices though to make.
Yeah,
I
there's a
mean,
lot of good defensemen out
You
there.
do have Jack Johnson available from the Columbus Blue Jackets.
who is already
Jack Johnson
set
has
to
said
agree.
to sign with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then
5 years, 16
A
million.
lot of goalies getting ready to move too.
you
I'll
mean
take that.
you got
Cam Ward's gonna have a new home.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm looking at 2 right now. Carter Hutton is a guy that's a free agent. Robin Lehner, another one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
guys that I think could potentially, get out of here, bro. This guy's sending me NBA stuff.
and then
You bastard.
then there's guys like Enstrom who are available from Winnipeg currently right now.
He wouldn't be a bad pickup for the Flyers.
No, I
he wouldn't
mean,
be a bad pickup for Anaheim.
no, he wouldn't be a bad pickup for anybody.
What
really,
was he making last year?
he was making $5 million.
Oh, he's probably gonna want a little bit more.
Maybe,
You
but
might be able to
here's,
get him a little cheaper.
here's the thing, though. Because the cap is getting elevated this year, it actually puts the Flyers in a better spot than regularly. They do have a
True, it gives them
little
$5
bit more to
million
work
more.
with.
And it benefits a lot of teams like Pittsburgh, too, which
Yeah.
is, you know.
And
It's
so
gonna
with,
benefit the team that signs Jonathan Tavares
that is for
because
sure.
he's gonna want at least 8.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the thing now is his cap hit right now is only 5.5. So it's like, whatever team, they're going to have to pay for him.
Yeah,
So.
I mean these are guys I'm looking at right now as like these guys should be considered by the Flyers as defensive veterans. This is the only major splash you really make in the free agency when it comes to signing any veteran presence. Reason why I say that is, yes, getting Tyler Bozak's great for secondary scoring and scoring depth. I have no problem with that. We do have a lot of young prospects, though, that can add that scoring depth. You don't necessarily need to overload it with that. You do need at least one legitimate defensive veteran who can coach these young guys and get them in the right spot. McDonald's not going to cut it. We all know it. Gudis is not a veteran you want on your team because he has a bad reputation in the league, and he's going to continue to have a bad reputation in the league. Those are 2 D-men that you don't want on your team. One, because he sucks. The other one, because he's got a bad rep. So you kind of want – that's what I really want to see. I want to see someone who's a veteran, legitimate talent, who has history, get the young guys ready to go, train up a guy like Shane Gostisbehere to be a future leader of this defense, and then you move forward from there.
Yeah.
All
He's
right.
definitely the defensive leader.
I'm gonna jump back into
Without a
some of
doubt.
these comments here. Richard Shazares, hope I said your name right, bro. I see you're a fellow Ducks fan. Damn it, don't do that. My Ducks will end up picking him up. It's what we do. We buy the older players at the end of their careers, and that might be true as for Ryan Kessler. Okay, Tom Smith, what's the word on Nuvi? As far as I know, he's staying put.
For now,
Yeah. I would think so, too.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't know if Neuwirth, come training camp, I don't know if he should be the backup, though, for this team. I really don't think he should. I honestly think Alex Lyon should be. I still say that to this day. It should be Elliott and Lyon as our goaltending tandem starting the year off. I like Lyon because he's younger. He doesn't get hurt, and that's the other thing, too. I would rather see that and knowing he's not going to suffer an injury going
Yeah.
to the fucking bench, you know?
No,
Well, I think that happened before he got to the bench, but that's not
Still,
here or
I
there.
mean, it's pretty bad when you're only on the ice for at least a shift or two, and then you wind up leaving. And then poor Peter Mrazek has to step in again.
Ben Molesky, Frost has beefed up to 186 pounds, a pound heavier than Claude Giroux. Chance of making the team out of camp now since he doesn't. Oh, if he doesn't go back to the OHL, where he clearly cannot do any better. I think his chances are really good.
Who?
To be honest with you, Morgan Frost.
Yeah, he absolutely should be making the team out of training camp this year. That's a guy who, quite frankly, is NHL ready. Honestly, I don't really see much of his game that needs to improve. He's already bulked up. What more do you need?
That's kind of what you send him down to develop to do is to kind of beef up
yeah.
a little bit, get a little
Oh, yeah.
stronger, and just make their overall game better. I don't know if he can develop any more at that level.
Well, that's a lot of thing with the lower levels. It's just like a speed game.
Yeah.
You know?
Dan Sharrock Jr., no one cares about the Pens. Very true.
Damn.
Tom Arnone, let's hope Ron is aggressive, which we all know he's not going to be. James Wilder agrees with me. Yeah, right, Tom? He also goes on to say, best hair of the game, hockey happy hour.
Bingo.
I wish I had some hair.
Ooh.
Greg Malakovic.
do.
It's there's not much left. I'm just sick of other teams having the balls to take a shot on a kid, and the Flyers should sit there and slow play this kid. Elliott sucks and isn't the future, so let's roll the dice and ride the kid. Greg, the only problem I have with that is he has to develop. He's only 19 years old.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to take a shot on somebody, but the problem is again, goalies, I'll say again, they are like pitchers in baseball. If their confidence level is not where it needs to be, they are going to fuck up on the easiest of shots. They're going to give up softies every day. You don't want that. You don't want a young kid to get rattled his first game out, and then that's it. He's
Be scared.
finished. Very few people can be a Sergei Bobrovsky and just show up out of fucking the blue and just say, hey, I actually am capable of competing at the NHL level, and I'm surprised no one ever drafted me, and I just got signed right out of the KHL. And the fact that we traded him is still one of those things I want to freaking take a gun and shoot Paul Holmgren in the fucking head. And the fact that he's still employed by the Flyers organization is bullshit. And to this fucking day, he should have been fired for that trade. But anyway, I digress.
David Raska says, I want the Ducks to get Tavares. Well, he might be going to the West Coast. So
don't think so.
I kind of led that off the air that that I have an idea of where Jonathan Tavares is going to wind up.
Apparently an inside source on top of this.
Yeah. Bleacher Report.
Okay.
The Sharks, the San Jose Sharks, are in the lead to get Jonathan Tavares.
Really?
So Bleacher Report says it, and now all of a sudden it's actual fact.
Brian.
It's never fact.
Brian.
First of all,
There's your
it's-
first mistake.
It's first of all, doesn't matter who reports it. Some sources are better than others, but it's
Listen,
never fact.
24/7 Sports will report
It's never
something.
fact until he signs a dotted line.
It's like if Barstool said,
It's always
by the
rumor,
way,
it's always
the Los
speculation.
Angeles Kings are going to platoon Tavares and Kovalchuk on the
Where
same
do you think
fucking
Bleacher
line.
Report's getting theirs from? You think they've got people, or you think they're stealing it from other people? Brian.
They're doing what I do.
Yes, Brian.
Listen, I don't have
This
the-
is over.
Ryan just did my job for me on that
Yes.
one.
Rapovia, it's true.
I had
The
to step
burning
in.
part, not the JVR. I'll lay money on it. JVR didn't want to be here in the first place when he was first here.
Yeah.
You think he'd want to come back? I don't.
No.
Well, to
Doug
be-
Zeke, let's go Flyers. Richard Shazares commenting on Dave's comment, saying that would be nice. Doug, this is not a football program. You can spell your Eagles, but I'm not going to read it out. Hi, Aunt Barb. I hope you're doing
Hey,
well.
Barb.
Randy Ruiz wants to know where Wayne and Garth is. I'm not quite sure what he meant there. Richard Shazares, trade Perry for Tavares. I'm on board for that.
Not happening.
So definitely not happening. The only thing that's going to make that better is the fact that Corey Perry's $8 million for doing nothing is going to be off the book. Ben Molesky, think of all the huge contracts. Think all of these huge contracts are indicative of an upcoming lockout.
Mhm.
I don't know about that one. I'm going to have to look into that. David Raska, I want Tavares with Perry and Getzlov. Corey Perry is out of his prime, and Ryan Getzlov is an assist man.
Yeah, Perry was trash.
What?
He had like 3 good years.
What? No love for Scory Perry?
He's not scoring anymore. Tom Smith, newsflash, Kimmo Timonen is out of retirement. I'm assuming that's a joke. Rich says, I asked my Magic 8-Ball, and it said F the Sharks.
Nice.
I couldn't agree more. I'm actually going to give a heart for that one. Ben Molesky, prediction for Stoley going into the next season since he has been qualified. Since not on ELC, he would have to agree to going to Reading, perhaps a trade before camp.
That's possible.
Reading as in the ECHL.
That's what I would assume.
Is that what he meant by
the
ALC?
Reading Royals. It's possible, only because
Man.
Stoley, of
Reading
course,
Royals.
he got hurt, and he's not going to, again, this is another problem. Same thing with Sam. I wanted Moran. He probably would have made the Flyers. He would have made the roster out of camp. That's not happening now because he's not going to be able to be.
We made the roster out of camp last year. It's a shame we didn't grasp at the opportunity. Now he has to.
Well, here's the thing.
The fortunate part is they re-signed him to a 3-year contract.
Well, here's the thing. They're probably going to give him one more shot. And I think that's fair because, quite frankly, he got hurt because the Phantoms were playing in the playoffs.
Entry-level contract, ELC.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay,
go ahead.
gotcha. But with that being said, though, I will say this. I think that it's fair to give Moran another go. I don't think it's fair for – some people are saying, you're saying maybe it's time we part ways with him. I don't know. I mean, like, you only had one run with him on the Flyers. And, yes, did he not stay on the Flyers? No, he didn't. But we also got to be a little bit more fair than that because we still have shitty contracts to deal with. On top of that, too, we still have Rocco Gudis on this team, who does not deserve to be on this team.
And Andrew McDonald.
And that's what I mean by shitty contracts. Thank you, Paul Holmgren.
I just made sure I'd bring that up.
Thanks
again.
for reiterating that.
Jackass.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Although I will say, thank you for taking Mark Streit off our hands.
Yeah, I remember when he was there for 2 months.
Yeah, he was
Duh,
there.
Still want a cup,
remember,
though.
Hey, remember his stellar career when he got traded to Tampa Bay?
No.
I'm just going to sit over here and
Wasn't
just
he
read
the
comments.
highest scorer on that team, too, on a very highly touted offensive team? I think Mark Streit did lead in goals, especially during the playoffs.
Ugh.
Something like that. I'm over my joke now.
All
I was
right.
pretty excited, though, when he came to Pittsburgh for a little bit. And
For a
then-
cup of coffee.
For about
Yeah.
a second. and
Still-
then
still
you
want a
completely
cup.
forgot that he was on the team.
Yeah. It's like Matt Humwick. Speaking of that.
Speaking of shitty contracts.
Yeah. Well, obviously he was traded away along with Connor Sheary,
Yeah.
which is very upsetting. The Sheary part, not Matt Humwick, because he
I'm
sucks.
sure. I'm very
Um,
sure you were going to send Matt Hunwick
but-
on the road
and-
yourself on
yeah.
that one.
I was just thinking, thinking about that trade. Obviously, I'm upset Connor Sheary's gone, but it does give us some cap space. And the thing that I like about it, though, is that Buffalo is going to pay completely for their contracts, which is why it's a lower pick, and it could become a possible third-round pick depending on what the circumstances are. But
Yeah, but the fact that you could trade it off that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing, though.
no,
I
it's
mean,
not a
so-
bad thing. Like I said, it clears up almost $5 million in cap. So, I mean, I'll take it. It's a shame.
It's more room for you guys to sign John Tavares, right?
Real quick. Ben, that last thing you just sent before I read it out loud, where did you hear that?
Hear what?
It's probably fake.
I'm thinking it's fake too, but I can't be too sure. It says Simmons to Pens via Tampa.
I'll check it.
Simmons to Pens via
I mean,
Tampa?
I wouldn't be mad because I would take. I don't mind
I'm just
Simmons.
about to read an article about Bagels
No,
and Tavares,
it
but I'll
can't
go
be
to this.
because that's how the strike deal went. That's how we wound up getting Valtteri Filppula. That has to be a joke.
What is it?
That
Simmons
has to be a
Pens?
joke.
Let me go look.
Okay,
up.
he did verify fake news. All right, I was just
Okay,
making
yeah,
sure.
I was gonna say that had to be a joke because that's
Come
exactly what
on.
happened with the strike deal.
Come on.
That's why Valtteri Filppula was an alternate for us last year.
Rich
So
Cesaris wants to know: are they going to implement the same trade rules for Seattle as they did for Vegas?
Well, Bettman already shot down Seattle, so
really, even after all the positive testing that came out of there?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he said that they're not doing that at all.
well,
wow.
because Gary
So-
Bettman only wants to put teams in Tokyo and fucking goddamn.
Imagine flying there in a home to home.
Yeah. He wants to put teams
That
in
would
Tokyo, freaking Nicaragua, and Panama City and London and France next. Places that have no idea what the hell hockey is. That's what Bettman does.
Maddie, I found an article via NHL.com involving Tavares and a very, very desperate fan. It's the headline says, Bagel Boss promises Tavares free bagels for life if he stays with the Islanders.
Wow.
I feel so bad for that guy, but he is not staying with the Islanders.
Yeah, he's not giving away bagels to him
So,
for the rest of his life.
Put yourself in his shoes, and then obviously, the Flyers don't have Tavares, the Ducks, the Penguins. What would you do to keep your best player from leaving? What would you do?
Well, you got to give him that max contract. Whatever
yeah.
you could give him, the most money that is reasonable for what he could do. And the top guys in the league, which he's definitely one of them, you got to pay him at least $9 million a year.
Well, hold on.
We
got to think about off ice.
Yeah, I was going to say,
favors.
as a fan.
Off ice favors as a fan. What would you
Oh,
do?
yeah,
say
not
as an
organization,
Okay,
just as a fan.
So say
Yeah,
Sidney
fan,
Crosby was not
Yeah.
committed to the Pittsburgh Penguins organization. Say he decides to leave. What would you do to keep Sidney Crosby in a piss-colored Penguins jersey?
I'm so happy
Well,
I asked this question.
You only need one
Not
nut.
sure how to answer.
So
You only need one.
you only need one nut.
You only need
I'll
one.
give him. I'll give him my second, so he could have 3. So he could definitely have the biggest balls in the league.
Fair.
Well, Crosby does like balls, so I think it'll work.
Exactly.
All right, and all right. So now to you, Mr. Daly. If, say, Ryan Getzlaff wanted to leave your Anaheim Ducks, what would you do
He's like in a
to
mental
keep
pretzel
him?
right
Or
now.
you know what? Correction. I will fix that. John Gibson. If John Gibson wanted to leave the Anaheim Ducks, what would you do to keep him in Anaheim?
I'm glad you changed it because if you were kept at a Ryan Getz, I would have been like, bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
I switched it the last week because I realized, wait a minute, what the fuck am I talking
Yeah,
about? Anyway.
Ryan Getzlaff's 33 years old.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not
Bye.
committed anymore on that one.
What would I do
Yes. What
to keep
would
him in
you do?
Anaheim?
You can keep it PG if you want to.
Actually, I don't know. This is.
Would you like us to come back to you?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
tough.
Rich agrees
that
with
was
me.
on the
Bye,
top of
Getzlaff.
my head. You know that one there.
You're going to give him a nut? Like, how do I compete with that?
Give him your child.
I don't have one.
So it makes it work.
That
You
you
don't
know
actually
of.
give up anything, so that way you completely keep
I
him
will-
here and you-
I will help. Oh, my God. I can't. I'm not answering this question because I don't know what I would do.
So pass. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're
so,
gonna pass.
All right, for me to
Maddie,
keep,
who would even be who would fall
be
under this
Claude
category?
Giroux. We all know who it is.
But what I do when he
Do not put the debate on there. It's Claude Giroux. Guy
right.
just came off of 100 points.
All right.
It's Claude Giroux. We know who the best player on the Flyers is. All right. So with that being said, to keep Claude Giroux in a Flyers jersey, well, it's definitely not going to be cheesesteaks for life. That ain't going to work.
He's already getting
No.
that.
And that's
Yeah.
unhealthy. This guy's want to try to stay fit.
Yeah, that's the
Until
thing.
like
Yeah, you
after
gotta
once he
think
hits
about
like
it.
39, 40 when
Yeah,
you
then-
see
Well,
then
his,
we throw that
he's got to
in.
stay looking
Yeah.
good for his soon-to-be wife because she is smoking hot.
Yeah, we have to keep him disciplined.
Yes, we do. Well, you do.
Well.
Sorry.
You know what I would give him? I would give him a free pass to slap any cop on the ass on
Oh.
Canada Day forever for the rest of his existence. So he can molest police officers
Jesus Christ.
anytime he wants to. And there you go. Claude Giroux stays a Philadelphia Flyer.
Well, he's leaving.
Are you sure? Because he's still the same guy who did it.
Oh dear God.
Oh, yeah.
He did it.
And
So
you,
don't-
you're the one to open up this can of worms.
Well, I didn't think we were going there.
Oh, come on. This is me.
I'll go back to the bagels.
Let's go.
Come on. This was me.
That's what I opened
Just
up,
be
the
happy.
bagels.
Hey, just be happy. You know, it could have been worse. I could have said, I will give you Danny Briere and throw in a glory hole on top of it. And there you go. That's the end of it.
This is
You do know that Danny B lived, that Claude Giroux did live with Danny B at one point. Did you? Did you not?
so.
I've
Ward.
left it. I've left this conversation.
Cam Ward has agreed to go to the Blackhawks come Sunday. Since
Oh,
we're
is
gonna
it
we're gonna
official?
quickly. It's I mean, it's not official until he signs on the
So,
dotted
yeah.
line, but apparently that's where
Wait
he's
a minute.
going.
Cam Ward is going.
Cam Ward is going to Chicago
Well, congratulations, Chicago. You
because
have-
I had to change the subject real quick.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cam Ward. You have not found a long-term replacement for Corey Crawford by any stretch of the imagination.
No, Chicago's rebuilding now.
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
What else we got here? We got Mike DeFranco. He can still learn from other aspects of the game, and he can play the World Junior Tournament, which he hasn't had a chance to do yet. He played in the World Junior Tournament, didn't he? Carter Hart? I'm pretty sure he did.
Carter Hart, yeah, he played
Yeah.
in World Junior. He actually was a major factor in them winning a gold medal.
Mike DeFranco goes on to say Elliott does not suck, going back to Greg's comment a few comments back. But the kid, if the kid earns it, he should get the spot and let Elliott mentor him for a year, dump Neuwirth in the trash.
I would
Which I
love
agree
to
with.
dump.
Yeah.
I have
He
no
should do
problem.
that anyway.
Yes, please do so.
And this is actually going to go back to Randall Whitman Greener's comment. He wants to know our predictions on Carter Hart this year. Carter Hart will be the starting goaltender in the AHL. That's my prediction.
And it's only going to be for 1 year because, again, Elliott only has one more year left in his contract. And hell, like I said, come trade deadline time, if he sucks and it turns out that we're on the wrong end on the outside looking in of a wild card race, bring Carter up, and then we will see what he can do. It isn't the end of the world. If he even spends an entire year in the AHL, it isn't the end of the world. He gets used to a NHL-like atmosphere. It's not completely like it because it's AHL, but it's somewhat like it, and it gets him prepared for the big leagues. He comes up to the big leagues, and then he's ready for it. He's mature. He knows what he's got to do. And then he can take that number one spot. And what's the worst? You platoon him with someone like Stolars or Lions or whatever the hell, if you do want to continue Stolars on this team.
Depends on how quick you get Felix, or depends on how fast Felix Sandstrom develops.
But that too. You could also platoon him with a Felix Sandstrom, and then you have a situation there where Sandstrom could be a possible backup or possibly working with Carter Hart for a period of time. And we have one of the youngest goaltending tandems in the world, but both of them are legitimate enough to be starters. Then you have the Martin Jones, Jonathan Quick situation then that you have to then address. But that's not a bad option to have because then you can, shop out a Felix Sandstrom if you're married to Hart or vice versa. And that's not a bad problem to have.
The other comment that I had was Ben Molesky chiming in with all the reports of the Islanders offering Jonathan Tavares $88 million over 8 years.
That's
Which is the
ridiculous.
contract that he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, I don't think he wants to stay. He would have signed by now if he really wants to stay, and I don't blame him. You want to know why I don't blame him? I don't care if freaking Lou Lamoriello's there now. I don't give a shit if they changed head coaches. The truth is that, that organization has failed him on multiple occasions to put anything together. No matter what talent they drafted, no matter what people they got out of free agency, nothing worked. And their goaltending situation is still a bit strange. They don't really know exactly what's going to happen. I don't blame Tavares for leaving. I really don't. Do you guys?
He's not necessarily leaving yet,
Well-
but it's more enticing now that they have a GM who has some kind of idea of what he's doing.
Yeah, good
And
rep.
now he's got a defending Stanley Cup champions head coach.
Yeah.
That's enticing.
It is.
Yeah,
but
and I mean that's definitely what's going to bring him back if he does stay, and if that's the contract that they're going to offer him is almost $11 million a year.
it's
yeah, I
very-
mean, why not?
It's very
It's
tempting,
just-
but the thing is that I don't know. Again, is he married to staying with the organization? And a part of me's thinking he's not married to the Islanders, that he really just does not want to be an Islander anymore. That ship has sailed for him. Like I said, I know they're offering him pretty much the payday that he could absolutely fall in love with. But what would you rather do? Would you rather go to a team that you feel has a better shot? I would not say San Jose. I would say like a Toronto. I would say somebody that is developing into something that could be a powerhouse for years to come.
Yeah.
What would you do? Would you take the payday to go to Toronto, or would you take a payday to stay in New York? I would take the payday to go to Toronto because at least with Toronto, I know I'm working with Austin Matthews, a lot of young talent, and on top of that too, a much better shot and a much better upside of getting to the Stanley Cup. The Islanders, what chance do they have of actually winning a cup? They don't. They still have to put pieces together.
Yeah, they're
Might not
definitely
be
gonna
the
have to put
important
it-
thing to him.
Yeah.
He might like where he is. He might.
That's true, but again, is it? I mean, he really does look like he's testing this free agency situation.
He should.
Well,
Why
he
not?
should.
See
Why
what else
not?
is out
Yeah.
there.
But that's the thing, though.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's leaving New York, though.
No.
Yeah, but again, though, that doesn't mean he's married to the organization.
No, not at all. And I said it. I've been saying it the last few weeks. There is a really good chance that Jonathan Tavares stays in New York. Toronto's a really good option. San Jose is apparently an option now. Dallas, Tampa Bay, although I don't think Tampa Bay really has the cap space to do that.
Unless they want to make a pretty hefty deal.
They're going to have to.
If they can make a hefty deal, if they can make a trade, somehow work something out with the Islanders, then maybe something like that could happen. And if that does happen, then holy shit, you know. But I'm not sure who. See, they would have to give up. They would have to give up something. Tampa would have to give up something of like the triplets line. They would have to also give up.
Tyler Johnson would probably be the likely to
Yeah,
go.
he would be the likely candidate to be sent up to the Islanders.
And that's not necessarily a
And
bad
more.
thing for the Islanders, but
No.
yeah, obviously more. But I'm just saying, like, Jonathan Tavares testing the free agent waters. I honestly, I like it. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I
but
would
the
do it too if I was in
The
his
thing
shoes.
is, too, though, with Tampa Bay, they also just signed JT Miller to an extension. I believe it's, 5-year, $26 million?
Yeah, it's
About
like a
that.
5-year. Yeah. I mean,
So, I mean, there's a lot of cap space eaten up right there. So, if they are going to make a trade, well, sign him, they are definitely going to have to move a lot of pieces for
Well,
one player. So
that could actually present an opportunity for a team like say maybe Boston
hmm
or a team like Philadelphia
Yeah.
or a New Jersey or any of the teams that are wanting to retool their franchise and have some veteran presence for scoring depth. You can add that up. Not that Boston really necessarily needs scoring depth, but a team like Jersey can always get more scoring depth. Philly definitely would like to have
Yeah.
more scoring depth. You know, hell, even making a trade to a team like Pittsburgh, that's not necessarily a major deal, but it's a minor deal that gives you guys some more depth.
Yeah.
That maybe on defense where you guys don't have it.
Yeah,
you
where
know,
we're definitely our
something minor
weakest.
like that, or even
Yeah.
to a team out west, like say Colorado or Calgary, like Calgary just made a deal, or to Edmonton,
Mm-hmm.
or to whatever the hell, that a team that needs to basically say, okay, shit didn't go right last year. We need to fix this. That's not Colorado's case. That's more Edmonton and Calgary's case. But still,
Yeah.
you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy McDevitt, bring back JVR. Steve Krasowski. Steve, what's going on, brother? Get rid of Simmons and sign JVR.
Damn, we got a lot of votes for JVR.
Seriously.
Bring him back, I guess, huh?
Well, I mean, to be fair, he got shipped out a little early.
He did, and unfortunately, that was just the Paul Holmgren win now fucking syndrome. And I think that's probably what soured JVR while he was here, because unfortunately, he did not get the proper, let's go word for it, I wouldn't say the proper treatment in Philadelphia. He was kind of just said, okay, shipped up to Toronto, and we got literally nothing in return for him. All we got was Luke Shen. Spectacular.
That was
fucking
honestly
trade.
probably the best piece that has ever come to Philly aside Andrew McDonald.
So, yeah.
How's your defense working, by the way?
Better than yours, apparently, because ours let up less goals in that series. So
Doesn't matter. You guys still didn't get back to the cup.
sorry, we won back-to-back. Let me just remind you.
But you still lost to Washington.
Let me just remind you.
Doesn't matter. You still lost to Washington.
Sounds like someone's living in the past.
Yep, someone
Oh,
is.
Jesus.
Something
yeah,
Flyers
the-
fans
The
know how to
past
do
will
the
be
best.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Jesus
come on.
Christ.
We're living more in the future now than
Your
you
parents
ever.
weren't even born the last time they won a cup. No, I'm
Actually,
kidding.
they were, but
I
still.
know they were.
anyway.
I know they were. I'm not fucking stupid. They were.
Oh, apparently, I don't know, because you just said that. But
Sorry.
anyway,
Sorry.
I don't know. We're living more in the future than you guys
I've
are.
got
You're
to
bringing
see-
up, oh, yeah, we won the cup, by the way.
But you want to ignore what happened in this past playoff series.
Yeah, when
I'm
you
not-
guys lost to Ovechkin, finally.
Yeah, finally. Once. Hello. Everybody, it happens once in their lifetime, right?
Yeah, a blind squirrel finds a nut eventually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if there was any example of
No,
a blind
yeah.
squirrel, it was the Washington Capitals organization.
I don't get why they're busting your balls. It's 3 cups in the last 10 years.
Exactly. So,
I have 1 in
and you should be excited about it too and shove it in his face.
11 years.
Because I would be.
I got 1. They got 2. I got no room to talk.
Yeah.
But since, 74?
Doesn't matter. They still got 2. I got
cup
1.
was like-
75.
Oh, excuse
if
me.
you're gonna take a
The
dig,
cup was like that big then.
if you're gonna take a dig, then you gotta do
Stanley's
it
Cup.
right. Actually, correction, it was still full size, smartass.
Shit, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Damn, I should have wore my back-to-back shirt tonight if you were going to be like this. Damn. Fuck that car ride home. I ain't taking you tonight. You can get Uber.
This dude's all upset now. You're all butthurt. Like,
How
dude,
am I butthurt? What am I butthurt for? You're the one that's... Oh,
You're the
well,
one who's taking
You
co-
only won last year.
Yeah, but you're the one who's taking car rides away and shit like that. It's like, I'm not the one who's butthurt. Do you see me
Yeah.
getting upset? I see you just like, oh, well, forget about that, dude. I don't feel like doing it. Fuck you, you know? Like, that's kind of a butthurt vibe I'm getting right now.
Oh,
I don't know.
man.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit of the butthurt right there. But anyway.
I like it. It fits. Continue.
Definitely does. No, I mean, I already said what I had
Oh,
to
we're
say.
done once I play the music? Okay,
Right,
well,
that's
that's going away now.
Great. Now we're never going to get music in the background again.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
No,
That's
no,
okay.
no. When Mike takes a vacation again to take care of some penguin needs, then we will bring back up the sentimental music where Brian couldn't keep a straight
Still
face.
trying to figure out what a flyer is. Like,
flyer?
Is that like what you hand to people? Like, oh, come check out my massage parlor. Like,
Oh, we got girls over here.
Yeah.
Take the flyer. Come back at 9 o'clock.
here's a flyer.
Hey,
Here's a
happy
flyer.
hours. Happy hours at 2
It
o'clock.
should just be like a blank piece of paper
Hey, at
on
least
the
we,
jersey.
At least we got girls. At least we're not Brokeback Mountain like Crosby. So
Hey,
you know
at
what?
least he's
We'll
still
take it on
getting
that
some.
one. So
Gotta get some somehow.
Hey,
yeah,
Hey.
brings a whole new meaning. Take one for the team. But anyway, all right,
Oh, we still got a lot of comments coming in.
good. Keep it rolling, please.
Adrian Barrett says hello.
Hello.
Tommy McDevitt says hello.
Hi.
He also says worst trade ever.
What, the
JVR
ball-
for Shen.
That was a terrible trade. Now, the worst trade ever was when we traded Bobrovsky. That's the worst trade ever. Because JVR,
There's a list.
yeah, unfortunately. Thank you, Paul Holmgren.
Steve
Set
agree.
this team.
Steve. he describes Luke Shen perfectly. Luke Shen equals slop.
This is correct.
That's about right.
Absolutely correct.
He's also saying, and I've said this last week, if you were here, Steve, which I believe you were, Carter Hart will be on the Flyers roster by the end of next year. Heard it here first. I said it last week. Tom McDevitt, more of worst trade, JVR or Bob, worst GM. Thanks, Paul. So I mean, these are the really two trades that are up for debate for the worst trade in franchise history:
It has to
JVR
be.
or Bobrovsky.
David Rosk is coming hot at you, Klinkoff, in the YouTube.
that's fine.
Please, let me take a look, because finally we got something.
And then
What's the activity on the
Ben
YouTube
Molesky,
here?
how do you think Hextall will handle Wheel? Didn't really do much this postseason. Does he lose his spot to a kid like Abe Kubel or I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last
Here,
name.
let me see.
Vorbayev?
Oh,
Voroborov?
Vorbayev. Yeah, Vorbayev. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, Jordan Wheel was another one of those kids who does have potential, but the thing is that, like, he did kind of have a bit of a rough year this year. He was a healthy scratch on a few occasions. It's possible that he could get replaced by a Ob Cobell, maybe even a Morgan Frost, if they really feel like he's that far along in his development cycle, and bring him up. I don't know. There are options on the forward situation, which is great because we used to not have this option ever.
So David Raska says in here, he says, guess what? Should have won 3 back-to-back cups. That is Marian Hossa with Pittsburgh and win again in 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2014-2015 Cup champs.
I don't know about all that.
Well, here's the thing that I love about Marian Hossa is the fact that he played for the Red Wings, he played for
Penguins.
Pittsburgh first, lost with us, so he's like, all right, well, you know, if you can't beat him, join him, joins them, loses to the Penguins, and then eventually he does go on to win with the Blackhawks the following year, but it took him 3 years to get there, so I really don't have sympathy for the guy, but he still has 3 cups.
Yeah, because he
know.
went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where that dynasty.
See-
Wait, that's a dynasty, right, Brodo, if I'm not mistaken? 3
It has
cups
to
in
be
like
a
10 years?
dynasty.
Yeah.
It has to
okay.
be a dynasty.
Just making sure.
At this
Yeah.
point in time.
Just clarifying. that.
Technically, the Pittsburgh falls under a dynasty.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're definitely a dynasty.
Yeah, they're the two dynasties right now, Pittsburgh and Chicago, currently right now. And one is on its way out, being Chicago. The other one, it's possibly on its last legs. We don't know for sure.
I mean, the dynasty would kind
Depends
of
on what the team does.
that dynasty is not dead in Pittsburgh, in my opinion, until either A, they miss the playoffs, or B, they get knocked out in the first round.
Which, so far, neither has happened.
No.
So it's not
No, so they're
dead.
Not
So
in
it's still
12
going.
years.
Not
yeah.
dead yet.
Well, we've been out of the first round. Last time I think was you guys, but you know, the last 12 seasons I got to see them be in the playoffs, so I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Now, unfortunately, that year we had to face the fucking Devils. God, I hate that team. That's the only team I think I hate more. And this is the truth. Let me clarify this. I do hate the Penguins, but it's mostly Crosby. The one team that I hate from top to bottom, everybody on their roster, if I had a chance to put a bullet in all of them, I would. It's the fucking Devils. I can't stand them. That fucking piece of shit logo, that piece of shit stadium, which I'm pretty sure is beautiful. I've never been there.
See, the thing
It
is,
actually
though,
is.
And thank you.
the devil would burn a flyer because it's just a piece of paper, right?
No, actually, no. You know what? It wouldn't because Devil. No, you wouldn't because the New Jersey Devil doesn't exist. It's a myth, just like the damn fan base is for the New Jersey Devils. But anyway,
Oh man.
I love it.
See what I gotta put up with every week?
I had to.
Bro,
play
he's
music
like,
again.
you know what? I'm just going to stay here every week now. Like, he's like, this is
Brother-
my comedy night.
Well, this is great because James Wilder left a comment saying, "Fuck these comments. Keep up the fire."
We're trying. We're trying.
uh,
Just step on my toe again. We'll see what happens.
by the way, we've got people chiming in on the YouTube. Like we said, Roscoe was saying the same thing. He said Jeremy Ben Israel, who chimed in a few weeks ago, he said Bueller as to the Ron Hextall image on YouTube. It just literally looks like Bueller. Bueller. Great comment. Anyway, F. Deems chimes in, Puck the Penguins, go Knights.
Who said that?
I don't get it.
F. Deems.
Oh. What do you mean you don't? What don't you get?
Obviously, I get it.
All right, next up, David Roska saying Tavares to the Ducks. Yeah, you know what he was going to say. And then Premier 23 said only 3 comments, and he was surprised. But feel free to keep them rolling in now that it's become more active. And then Jeremy Ben Israel chimed in again. A Filpula for McDavid. You heard it here first. Oh, my God. If that actually ever happened, I'd cry laughing. But I'd also be, like, so happy. See McDavid in a Flyers jersey, and all we had to do was give up Valtteri Filppula. I'm like, damn, it's official. Ron Hextall going down in history as the single greatest GM in the history of NHL. No one will be able to top that move. All right, next up, Nitro Freak chimed in. He said he's married to $10 million a year. I would assume that he's talking about Tavares.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says he'll stay. And David Roska saying as a joke, nice one, Nitro Freak. Nitro Freak, then he also says, also Tavares wants the spotlight. If he goes to Toronto, he'll be in Matthew's shadow. It's not going to happen. It depends on what you want, though. I mean, yeah, if Tavares wants the spotlight, then okay.
Yeah, but that's a
the
good
thing
1-2 punch right there. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? That's like it's like Malkin and Crosby are like, oh, Crosby's taking away my spotlight. Like, no, work together and
Yeah,
win a
let's
fucking
be honest.
cup.
I mean, let me let me make this perfectly clear. Despite if I hated Crosby, if I was a player in the NHL, if I had the option to play with him,
Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna fucking play with him.
Yeah.
Are you out of your damn mind? Like that would be the dumbest thing in the world to do.
He could take like your worst developmental player and put him on the line, and he'd be an all-star.
Yeah, it's like if I refused to play on the Penguins because I hate Crosby, I would deserve the biggest backhand from any human being on the face of the planet. Give me the strongest human being today, like say the guy who plays the Mountain on Game of Thrones, and just backhand me, or Braun Strowman from the WWE, just hurl my ass through a window because I'm that freaking stupid. Like that would be what the response would have to be. Next up. David Roska then says, Marion should have had 6 cups with Pittsburgh, and Michael, you have to agree with me.
6 cups. He wasn't there for 6 years,
I think he meant
including
1 with Pittsburgh, 1 with Detroit, and then the 3 with Chicago, and then where is the 6th one coming from? Please, Roska, chime in.
He won before though. Did he win before?
No, because
Any
he
of
was
this-
he was on the Atlanta Thrashers prior to
Oh.
that.
Thrashers before that. Then he went to Ottawa, then Detroit, then Pittsburgh,
Oh, that's right. He
then
did
Chicago.
go to Ottawa. I forgot he went to Ottawa.
He was in Ottawa a very, very short amount of time.
No, you know what? That's what he means by the 6th cup, because that was when Hossa, Alfredson, and I believe they had
Spezza.
Chara,
Spezza was still there, yeah.
when he was good. They had who did they have in goal? They had Emery in goal.
Probably Emery or Patrick Lalime.
Lalime or Damian Rhodes. It was one of the 3.
Lalime.
Has
What
to
a
be
bust he was.
Lalime, yeah, wasn't he? He was a pick for them too. Oh my God, Christ.
So, Robert Hartzell says, nope, worst GM in the NHL. I disagree.
What? Wait a minute. Does he mean Paul Holmgren? Because if he means Paul Holmgren, then
I'm assuming he's referring to our poll question, which is Ron Hextall going to be active?
well, He's definitely not the worst GM in the league.
No,
Absolutely not.
he's building this team from the bottom up, which is a good thing.
No, the worst GM in the league by far is Garth Snow.
Instead of winning now, he's worried about winning years from now. He's worried about winning down the line. And when you have guys that you can – Giroux comes to his end in Philadelphia, you can trade him, let him walk, whatever, and you just bring the next guy in.
And if you do mean Paul
You don't have to
Holmgren-
worry about, who are we going to replace him with? They're already going to know.
Yeah.
And if you do mean Paul Holmgren, then I can agree. He's probably the
Paul
worst
Holmgren?
GM in Flyers history.
Yes.
Has to be the worst GM in Flyers history.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they all had that win now mentality instead of, hey, let's build for the future.
Well, Paul was so stuck in the past, he didn't realize
Yeah.
that, the league changed and they put a salary cap.
Well,
The fact that they put a salary cap in, it doomed the Flyers to ever try to do the win now mentality ever again. Because when Bobby Clark was GM, it wasn't a big deal. You had no salary cap. You could sport a team with a Patrick Sharp, a Tony Amonte, a Jeremy Roenick, a Dennis Seidenberg, and no, Rob Brindamore wasn't on the team anymore, and a John LeClaire, and God, I could go on forever with this team. Donald Brashear on top of that as the fighter. God, that was a great team. God, I wish we didn't have a salary cap. I would go out right now and just go shopping in the free agency.
damn. Shame
I'd
you didn't win a
keep
cup.
like Konechny, Patrick, and the rest of them, and I keep Gostisbehere. But Christ, I'd be shopping around right now. Anyway,
I
so
like
we
it.
have any more comments on the Facebook?
Well, my Facebook seems to be going crazy. So, Mike, anybody commenting in?
Nah, I don't have any new news here. Just, the same old Jacks.
All right,
So-
then. So with that being said, we will take a break, and when we come back, we will then discuss what available free agents there are and what deals have been made, who has been signed, who has been traded, and what the future will likely set up for that franchise. And a comment rolled in, didn't it?
No.
No.
It's just Brodo's music.
Yeah.
I figured I'd play it one more time.
Might as well.
It's queued up.
All right.
Then
then.
to the death metal.
Hey, there's nothing wrong.
Oh, wait,
with
we
that.
do got one more comment, though. Not even going to lie. Ryan Haggerty, he says, no, maybe 2 to 3 players, biggest name could be JVR. So everybody wants JVR.
Everybody wants
That's
JVR.
final. Bring
Hey,
back
that's
JVR.
fine. That's fine. 2 or 3 players are really all the Flyers need. Riley Nash, that's who I'm going for. Tyler Bozak, that's it. That's all we need.
Okay, so with that being said, when we come back, we will talk more about free agents and we will talk about who has been signed and who has been traded. And then we will see what else has been going on in the NHL. But first, this was brought to you by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. They're located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-939-2030. Email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com.
Damn. Hits just as hard as the Flyers defense.
Anyway,
Ah.
no, I wasn't feeling that one. Anyway,
I did.
All right, so with that being said, for all those on Facebook, thank you for joining us. And for those on YouTube, please stick around. We will have a link in the comments section if you wish to join us on YouTube, so that way you can continue to watch us in the second half of the Hockey Happy Hour. We'll be right back right here on A2GRadio.com. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, who have joined us from Facebook on YouTube. And if you've been on YouTube, welcome back to the Hockey Happy Hour live here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Tsutsuti. This is the Penguin lover himself, Michael Klankoff. And right over here is the Darkwing Brian Daly. Behind the board is Mr. Ryan Brodo. And we are brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, your certified public accountants, located at 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. Give a call 215-369-3300. Hey, have you ever had one of those moments where you feel a rumbling in your stomach, and it's because you've been nervous all day, and you've been scared, and you've just been shaking in your boots? Well, while you're on your way to the bathroom, about ready to drop an atomic shit, you might be asking yourself, why am I going through this nervousness right now? I'll tell you why. It's because you didn't file your damn taxes on time, didn't you? You waited all that damn time because you couldn't figure it the fuck out, even if you had your W-2 sitting right in front of you, and you thought, I got all the time in the world. Deadline's not till 3 months from now. Sure enough, it's 2 days before the deadline, and you still haven't filed. Well, whether you're going to file an extension or you're going to get those taxes out of the way, you might want to consider hiring an accountant to avoid this ever happening again. To avoid it, you want to go to Gibson Mayer. When tax season rolls around, be ready, be prepared, and call Gibson Mayer. What? Sometimes you get nervous, and it happens. It could be worse. It's not like, hey, it's not like you're walking up to it's not like you're walking up to it's not like you're walking up to like the hottest chick you've ever seen a day in your life, like a 10 out of freaking 10. Then you get nervous, and then you have an atomic something else, and you don't want that because that's the worst thing you could possibly do.
And for the record, always tell your girl she's a 10 out of 10.
That is true. If you're going
Life
to take
advice.
anything away from that verbal effluvia I just put out there, take that away. All right.
Who, me or him?
Meanwhile, Brodo's just shaking in the corner, just like, my God, why did I do this? Why did I volunteer for this? Damn it. Actually, wrong. He was
Looks like I'm
drafted.
producing next week.
Never mind. He was drafted. He got picked first overall.
I just realized I was supposed to leave during the break.
Yep.
I just realized that. I go, I guess I'm staying.
Yep. Too late now. Yep. That's what happens when you get picked number 1 overall. You're stuck on that team.
Just wasn't ready.
Just like Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah.
Yep, weren't ready. It didn't sink into you yet until you officially put on the jersey.
I'm still wearing the Markel Fultz goggles.
Yep.
It's all the Kawhi rumors. It's got your brain not working right.
Yeah.
You're locked on Kawhi.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just like Rasmus Dahlin. Eventually it'll hit him. It'll hit him that he's a Buffalo Sabre. And he's like, fuck, I'm a Buffalo Sabre.
They're
No,
up
he's
and
not-
coming.
Yeah.
He's
forever.
not saying that. He's saying, yes, I'm in the NHL. That's what he's saying.
They just
He
got
doesn't
Connor
care.
For
Sherry.
now. For now.
They did just get Connor Sherry.
They did, but for now. And then a couple seasons later when that team's still dead last in the East, it's like, fuck, I'm still a Buffalo Sabre.
So got Jack Eichel.
Yeah, but still, you're a Buffalo
Listen,
Sabre.
if I'm gonna get paid like $3-4 million a year, I'd be okay with it.
Dude, I don't care where
For my
I
first
go.
couple years, listen, if I'm there just for the first couple years of my career,
Send me to Vancouver. I will play
okay,
in
but
Vancouver
Vancouver
for $2 to
actually
$3
looks like
million.
a cool place to be. What the hell is there to be in Buffalo?
snow, the Bills. Bills.
Oh,
Mafia.
wow,
Mafia,
that's
yeah.
spectacular.
Bill's Mafia is highly entertaining.
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
it?
they got the new Josh Allen as their potential starting quarterback. I mean, this is their.
It's just like, oh my
No,
God.
I read something. I read something. I'm gonna friggin' throw this headset across the room.
Tom will kill you.
No, he would understand because he
Yeah.
would be feel
Does
the
it,
same
well,
as
hold
me.
on. Isn't McCoy still on the Bills?
Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there's something to look
And
forward
you know
to.
what? He was a top 3 in rushing last year. But we are here for hockey, so let's
Yeah, I'm just saying.
let's get back on track with that. Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Brodo just read something.
Oh, that sucks, especially who it's coming from.
Okay.
That's my
That
reaction.
blows.
Send it to me, please.
I'm working on it.
I gotta see what.
Is this anything to do with Kawhi or no?
Oh, it's got everything to do
Of
with
course.
Kawhi.
Would
Oh,
it be
boy.
anything else tonight, Matty?
Hey, I don't know. We said some pretty interesting shit on this show to make you pretty much question your life right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. So back to the NHL. So let's dive into free agents that are currently available and are just sitting out there waiting for a team to call home. And while I pull up the free agency list, because like a dumbass, I exited out of it during the break, I will say this, though. I do like the position, though, that the Flyers have found themselves in to finally put that to bed. It isn't a bad situation. The Flyers actually have some cap space to work with. Like I said, they're not going to make they're not going to pull the John Tavares, but they are going to pull off a subtle, this might prop up either our offense for secondary depth scoring or hopefully prop up our defensive line to make a more dominant veteran presence and help the young guys transition into the NHL game better. But anyway, back to the free agency.
There's 2 guys to go after, in my opinion.
All right.
Well, maybe 3. You target 3. But I only think you're going to maybe be able to get one of them. You go target Riley Nash, who could be a really good top 9 guy for the Flyers.
Possibly.
Mike Green, because he will bring that veteran presence.
He's very likely to sign back with Detroit, is what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it. I don't know why he would want to go anywhere else.
To actually have a chance to win.
Detroit?
Detroit.
You sure about that?
No, I'm saying to go somewhere to win.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Tyler Bozak, which we already discussed earlier.
All right, then. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the rest of the NHL free agents that are available. Now, obviously, we could skip over John Tavares. Now, let's see here. Oh, and apparently there are 2 other teams that I forgot are in the running currently, and that's Boston and Dallas for John Tavares right now.
If he were to
I think
go
they
to a
ruled
market,
out Boston at this
yeah.
point. I think it's the top teams are Toronto, New York, San Jose, and Dallas. They're the top 4 teams.
Why would you go to Dallas? I know Dallas has an offense, but just like their goaltending's terrible.
Yeah, their goaltending's like a cancer.
Yeah,
They're
so
just-
why would you go there?
Ben Bishop's
Garbage.
solid. He's not
Yeah, well,
garbage. He's solid.
Oh, no, he's not garbage. No, I mean, he's not garbage. It's just that their goaltending's still like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah.
all right. He can get the job done.
For the time being.
You just got to play well in front of him.
He was better in Tampa.
All right, next up.
Yes.
James Van Riemsdyk. We've all been hearing about this.
Well, a lot of fans want him back. That's
That's very evident.
that's exactly what I'm getting with.
I mean, here's the thing. His current cap hit is $4 million, so it's not out of the price range for the Flyers because they have actual cap to work with this
and
year.
it's not for Pittsburgh.
However, I don't know. JVR, could he do well in the Flyer system? I think he could. I don't really see where that would be the issue. I just don't know if he wants to come back to Philly. Because, again, I think he got completely misrepresented while he was here. Holmgren tossed him the moment he got a chance and didn't toss him for anything. I don't know. He may not like the fact that the organization did that. On top of that, too, I know Hexy's a completely different GM from Paul Holmgren. But I still say he may just want to go to a different team. If not, he'll stay in Toronto.
I think he's not staying in Toronto. I think he's going to go to his childhood team. I think he's going to be a Ranger. He hates the Flyers. He hated the Flyers growing up. He didn't like being a Flyer. He was mad that he got drafted in the first place. He hates everything that has to do with the city. I don't think he's coming back. I highly doubt he's coming back. But if I had to predict where he's going, it's going to probably be the Rangers.
Think he's coming back to the Metro?
I absolutely think he's coming
Yeah.
back to the Metro. Rangers in the Metro.
Well, apparently. We don't know this for sure, though. But James Van Riemsdyk, I mean, him going to the Rangers have the money. They can easily do this. And he's 20. He's 29, so it's like he can sit through a retool or a rebuild and be an effective
Yeah,
veteran
and
on
still
the
be
team.
fine.
No.
So
Yeah, a
I don't
couple
really
years down
see
the
where
road.
that would effectively ruin his career. So it's a very much a possibility he could wind up on the Rangers.
Yeah.
Next up, Paul Stastny.
Going back to the Blues.
It's going. Actually, the Blues are interested in bringing him back, but I think he's going back to Winnipeg.
You think he's staying?
I think he's staying in Winnipeg.
Well, his cap hit was $7 million. I mean,
That's
that's a high.
that's crazy.
That's high. Do you
Well,
think he?
32 years old. There's obviously going to have to come down a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come
He's
down,
not
yeah.
worth $7 million now.
No,
he's a great center,
no.
but there's no way he's worth that.
I
now.
think the Jets, though, I don't think they want to lose him. You want a veteran depth scoring, and I think you do want a guy like Stastny to stay on that team because you have a relatively young team in Winnipeg. You want veteran presence. You don't want to stay just young guys. Don't get me wrong. They've had enough. They've had some development. You want to keep some veteran pieces there.
Definitely.
You really do.
You have
I
to.
think Stastny is one of those guys you really want to keep in Winnipeg.
Yeah, if you could get him for, I mean, I'd probably get him $5 to $6 million a year is what.
That's fair. Yeah.
Maybe over 3 years, 2 years.
3-4 years. About.
I wouldn't do any more than that.
Four is the
2 to
max.
3
You don't
years
go 5,
on-
and you don't go any higher than that.
Yeah, on a
you know?
5 to 6 million maybe,
Yeah.
but that's where I'm at with him.
All right, then. Next up, Mike Green, 32 years old, and he
Yeah.
has a $6 million cap hit.
I think he's staying in Detroit, and a lot of reports are saying that he's already reached a deal to stay back there. So
If he does, it sucks because he was definitely a good D-man to look at if you're a team like Philly who wants a veteran D-man.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. With that being said, James Neal, old buddy of yours.
yeah, it was very sad getting rid of him.
I
That's
think
for damn sure.
He
But,
re-ups.
He re-ups with
He
Vegas.
re-ups with Vegas.
yeah.
You think he gets a payday, or do you think at 30 he just
I
stays
think he's
going to
stay probably around
What's his cap hit now?
5 mil.
5 now.
He stays around it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get paid more than that.
I don't think he's going to get more. He's going to be in the ballpark. He might get if he gets more, he's getting a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's not getting
I
much
think
more than
he-
that.
I think
He's
he
32
gets-
years old. He's 30 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I think he could get at least
What do you think?
6.5 mil
What-
a year
What do you
easily.
think? What do you think? A 3-4 year contract?
4.
4.
Probably
Yeah.
4.
I mean,
Right.
the guy's put up almost 40 goals in the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah.
So
No,
I mean, he produces. It's not like he's sitting there and he's just soaking up money like Rick Nash is. So
Any team he goes to.
yeah,
actually that's funny because I thought his kind of resurrected his season a little bit when he went to Boston,
yeah.
which I'll talk about more when we get to him on the list.
Did not benefit them, though, in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Not
is
at
fine.
all. Moving on to Joe Thornton, 38.
He stays.
He's
He's gonna stay out the rest of that.
He's
career.
already said that I'm going to that he said he's going to
He
re-sign
has
with
to.
San Jose.
Now,
Yeah.
the thing is, though, he has an $8 million cap hit. I don't see that sticking
What
around.
is he? 38, 39
He's
years
38 years old. I
Yeah,
highly
he's,
doubt he's paid $8 million to stay in San
old?
Jose.
No way. There's no way. I mean, he can still produce, but you got to cut down that contract probably in half.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And then if he's going to be a true leader, you put some other pieces around there with that extra money because there's no way that you're going to be making,
Here's
No,
the-
he's going to re-sign a 1-year deal. He's probably going to get like 2 to 3, maybe 4
Yeah,
mil for
which
that
would
1
be
year, but that's it.
reasonable.
I actually think he might sign a 2-year. I think they. I think they.
I don't
might.
think San Jose wants to
All right.
lock in on him for that long, especially when you don't know if he's even going to come back next year.
No,
True.
That's true.
38
All right.
years old. Keep
Next
that in
up,
mind.
number 7 on here is David Perron.
I think he's leaving. I
He's
don't
definitely
I don't
leaving.
think he's going to stay with Las Vegas.
Well,
He-
he has a $3 million cap hit, so he's probably going to look for a payday.
He's
I-
not going
I
to get
don't-
much of
I
one.
don't think he's going to get a payday though. He might get up to $4 million, but I don't think he's anything worth more than that.
In his first stint with St. Louis, you could argue maybe now, if he kept those numbers up and he
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
consistent, he'd probably look for a payday.
yeah.
But he's probably going to have to take a pay cut to go somewhere. He took
Yep.
a pay cut to come to Anaheim,
Yep.
and then Anaheim traded him.
Yeah.
Thank
and
God.
Pittsburgh traded him as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What?
traded him too.
Oh, wait, no,
the
yeah,
Ducks.
that's where we got him
Yeah.
from.
For Hagelin. Ugh. Worked out so well for us. Oh my God.
What? You weren't a fan of David Perron when he was on? I remember all
I
his
like
great
David
moments.
Listen,
Perron when
he's
he came
an
with
all right
us.
player. He's an all right player,
But-
but he's
I
nothing
remember
spectacular.
all the
Yeah.
irrelevant moments he had on both.
But there
of
was
those
a guy
teams.
that always pissed me off when we played the Rangers, and that was frickin' Carl Hagelin. And then now he's on our team, so it's so much better.
Yeah, Carl
I
Hagelin still
hate-
pisses me off. but
Hagelin
anyway.
killed us every time. Every time we played
It
the
was
Rangers,
either-
he killed us.
It was either going to be Carl Hagelin or when he was playing on the team, it was either going to be him or Benoit Poliot was going to score a fucking goal on you, and I fucking hated him too. But anyway, thank God he's in the Western Conference. But anyway, Rick Nash.
I thought I saw something on the NHL that he might not
He's
even
considering
play.
retire.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
considering retirement, and I
He's-
think he's going to take it.
And he's 34 years old.
I don't
Wow.
think so.
But he
There's
doesn't
no
have it anymore.
Way.
Here's the thing, though.
But he knows he doesn't have it, or he knows he's losing it. He doesn't have the same step he did before.
No.
well,
but
here's the thing,
there-
though. No, you know what you do now when you're Rick
He's
Nash?
going to want money, but he's
Well,
not going to get it. That's
he-
that's what I think his situation's going to be. He's still going to want that. Oh, I'm worth
Somebody's gonna pay
$7.5
him.
million.
Somebody's
Yeah.
going to pay him.
Well,
He's
here-
not going
But
to get
he's
seven and a
not
half
worth
mil.
it.
Well, here's the
They're
thing,
not going
though.
to give him a long-term deal, though.
No
They're going to
way.
give him
No,
the 3-year
no,
contract.
Don't jump to conclusions, though. There's a couple of teams in the world that might actually consider doing something that stupid.
Arizona,
Yes, that's one of the teams.
Calgary.
He's not talking with any team until
No.
he decides what he wants to do.
Well, yeah, I get that, but at the same time, too, like I said, there are a few teams out there that are willing to pay money for him to be on the team. I'm not saying it's a smart thing for that team to do, but I'm pretty sure they would. There's some dumb teams in the league.
They're going to call for their GM's head if they give him, what, 7.8? Is that what that says?
Not,
But I'm just saying.
but not Arizona. They don't have fans, so you're okay.
It-
You literally soak Arizona for $7.8 million, and you walk away. I don't blame it. Rick Nash walks into freaking Phoenix. They're like, all right.
But if he's not feeling the game
What
anymore,
do you
why is
want,
he going to
nine?
sign?
I don't care.
If he's contemplating retirement, obviously he doesn't want to play long-term anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you only do it for like a few years.
He might not even want to play one more year.
All right. Well, we'll see what Rick Nash wants to do. We don't know what he's planning.
He doesn't know what he wants to do yet.
All right,
And until he does, he's not talking with any team, so it's
Yeah.
hard to speculate.
Tyler Bozak, 32.
Yeah, obviously.
Definitely somebody the Flyers are definitely interested in. $4 million in cap hit, which is fine. That's very easy to do.
And which I
with.
think is what he's would probably get paid again.
Yeah,
a
definitely
contract.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going much higher or lower.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see. I don't know
He's
if he'll
worth
be.
it.
He's
Yeah, give him
definitely
3 years.
he's definitely capable of being a second liner for the Flyers.
I say you make him a third line and let Nolan Patrick rock on that second line.
See
with
that
TK.
I would favor that only
that would
because
be
of
my
Nolan
opinion.
Patrick.
That's
yeah.
just my opinion.
Not that Bozak couldn't hold that spot down in the Flyers. He
Absolutely.
could, but yeah, I would say that. If Wayne Simmons wasn't on the team, I would say if you could try something there where you put Bozak at center and maybe try and see if somebody can do
Man,
wing.
Wayne
but that would
Simmons
be
in
the
a
question
Penguins
of that.
jersey. I'd rock it.
As long as it's not Anaheim.
Oh, come on. You don't want the former LA King? All right. Next up, Riley Nash, another center, 29.
Yeah.
Now his is a little bit different. He's got a $900,000 cap hit, but that's
Which-
because of entry level.
Yeah. So he's going to get a
So-
little payday.
He's going to get a little bit of a
For
bump.
him
on
anyway,
it.
that
yeah,
is.
for him, he's going to get a little bump.
Yeah.
That's another person the Flyers could look into, possibly being younger, at 29.
Yeah, if he goes to the Flyers, he's going to end up being a third, fourth line center.
Probably.
No doubt in my
Well,
mind. He's a
considering
bottom
that they're
6
already
player.
going to be looking at Bozak as well.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
not even that. It's just the style of play that he has. He's a checking
Yeah.
center. He's good at face-offs. He's good on the penalty kill. He's not a scorer,
Mhm.
No, that's mostly what the situation would be.
and which is why he only makes $900,000 off his last contract.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now, next up, Patrick Maroon, who is a former Penguin.
No.
I mean, now Duck.
Duck.
Duck, former Flyer too. He was drafted by the Flyers.
Yeah, but he doesn't count because we traded him. So it doesn't count.
He still got drafted. You look under drafted by, it still says Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
Still don't matter when you trade him. It really fucking doesn't, honestly. Should have kept him, but we didn't. One of the many wonderful things we did. Anyway.
That's
left
He
like
wouldn't
wing-
have gotten much from him.
No, true.
Maybe 15 goals. That's it.
That is true.
He's bottom 6 player. He's more known for his physicality.
True. He's probably not.
I see him going back to the Devils.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah, he
wind up
fit
back
well
in the
there.
Devils. Yeah.
He did. He did.
He did, though.
Next
once he
up,
got there.
Michael Grabner.
He played very well with the Devils once he got there.
He played well with the Rangers last year too.
Yeah, he did.
His cap hit is very, very minute. It's
yeah,
only $1
but I
million.
think he's going to get a payday.
He's definitely gonna get something. He's
Yeah,
gonna get more.
for him to stay with Jersey, he's gonna have
Yeah.
to get a payday on that one.
I don't think he stays with the Devils though.
No.
I don't know where he goes, but I don't think it's with the Devils.
Maybe Florida.
Nashville.
Nashville would be a good spot for him if they could pay him.
Nashville. I was thinking
I have
more.
to see their cap, but I think Nashville could be a good spot for him.
Honestly, I was thinking more Florida. No.
Nah.
Florida seems like a stupid team that a guy named Grabner would go to. I like it, Matty.
Once you get up to that region, when you get up there, usually you wind up in a Florida team. Mostly if you're a Ranger, though, but still. Next up,
Little New York out there.
Thomas Vanek.
Vanek will go somewhere else.
I see him going back to Florida.
Yeah, he'll go. He ain't staying.
Played there a couple years ago. Then he got traded at the deadline. I think you could see him going back. He played well down there.
All right, then. And now the final one that we'll bring up is Calvin DeHaan.
I would say I could see him possibly coming here, being a Flyer.
I would not mind that. He's 27. Defense brings veteran presence.
Another Islander goalie to Philly, or defenseman to Philly.
I'm fine with that. At $3 million.
Andrew McDonald.
And
Yeah, but you're not going to sign into that kind of contract, though.
no.
Ron Hextall's not that tight.
No, Ron Hextall is not stupid. No.
Well, according to fans last season, he wanted. No.
Yeah, but
fans
this
last
is,
season, some fans this season. We're just going to.
let's just be honest here. There are some Philadelphia fans that are idiots.
Some.
I'm sure you've noticed.
There's idiot
So-
fans in every fan base. So.
Yeah. So
That's for damn sure.
they're usually the most vocal too. That's the funny part of it. Actually, I think that counts for every fan base.
Yeah.
Usually the dumb ones are
Absolutely.
usually the most vocal ones. Has anyone ever said Trey Crosby in Pittsburgh? If so, I really would like to know.
If they are, they're sitting at the bottom of one of the rivers out there.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody were to ever say that, they would. There's no way. I don't think I've personally ever heard it or seen it. I've seen it a lot in Philly with Giroux, but
Which is
not,
stupid.
Not our captain. No way.
Just out of pure curiosity, I just would love to know if some Pittsburgh fan out there did actually ever say, "Oh, fuck Crosby, I want him off this team." If that's the
Got
case,
it.
I would.
I mean,
cry
I'm sure in
laughing.
frustration, I've probably said something stupid like that.
What, trade
But
Crosby?
no, just like this guy's fucking garbage. He only had 90 goals this year. Like,
Fucking 375 points. He
yeah,
sucks.
He's garbage. Why didn't we win the cup? You know. But no, I mean, if I don't see that. Our fan base does have some dumb fans, I have to say, but
We all do.
yeah, reading some of the comments on our fan pages, it's like, like what?
Oh, you think you're scratching your head? You should read some with the Flyers. You're just like, what the fuck? Please, by all means, go kill yourself. Like seriously,
Trade
that's
Giroux and
what you-
Voracek for.
for nobody. It's like, oh, then we're just gonna rebuild the entire team. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Anyway.
Green, white, black.
All right, so with that being said, that'll do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour.
Hoppy hour?
Happy Hour.
We're not Easter. It's not Easter yet.
Hoppy,
Come on.
hoppy, hoppy.
All right, the Hockey Happy Hour. Thank you all for joining us here on A2DRadio.com. I'm Matt Sui. That's Mike Klankoff. This was Brian Dilly right over here. We had Ryan Brodo behind the board who decided to stick it out with us. Not by choice, but he did.
Fucking Kawhi. Already screwing us over.
Just end it.
He's
Just
a-
end this friggin' thing with Kawhi.
If there's one thing you pulled out of this show, that Brodo is one hell of a trooper. With that being
Kill me.
said,
Kill me.
we thank you all for joining us. This was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. You can give them a call at 215-369-3300. They're at Oxford Valley Road, 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, PA. And also brought to you by Scansano Sports Center in Cherry Hill. Give them a call at 856-889-3434 and visit them on the web at www.scansanosports.com. This was the Hockey Happy Hour on A2D Radio. We will see you all next week right here on A2D Radio.